Welcome to my channel. If you like the content, please subscribe for more.
Confused and depressed after discovering affair. Wife, 39, had been secretly talking with ex-coworker until I found out last week. They were planning to meet and were very cautious that I was not around when they chat or talk. She admitted they met outside of work once and went for coffee. Apart from that, they were talking regularly, and wife admits having emotional attachment. They were trying to meet when I would go to work or on Saturday when I take our daughter to her classes. She admitted asking him to take a sick leave to come out of work to meet her. This has been going on for a year, and I think our relation became very sour in this period. I remember telling her that she was treating me like a room partner rather than a husband. She would not share any finances, and always would pick up a fight if I bring that topic. Now, she says she is sorry for everything and wants a chance to change. She says she wants to start shared account and a new life. I have a feeling that she is telling this just not to leave as she won't be able to afford the same lifestyle. Also, she is sorry only after I found out and was initially trying to convince daughter that I was upset just because she talked with her coworker. I am 40, and we have been together for nearly 15 years. I feel like I am going through depression now and not sure how to react. Redditor's reactions. Update after. Redditor 1. A year. There is no way that they weren't intimate. She is trickle-truthing you. You can't trust her. Staying will destroy you. Redditor 2. A year. If they've been secretly meeting up, making sure you're not around, then there is no way this isn't a physical affair. There was no way it was just E. She's lying to you. You need to get an SDT test and speak with a lawyer. Do not share finances. She wants to get access to your money to start saving. To leave now that you know, get yourself ice. How did you even discover the affair? Redditor 3. This won't be the only Saturday they tried to meet up. No one can sustain a year-long AIA without some form of physical presence to back it. No man wastes a year without getting something in return. A single coffee date is just not enough to keep him keen. Get her phone off her stat before she has chance to purge it. Update. I am feeling incredibly hurt and betrayed. My wife's affair with her coworker has been going on for a year, and now I found explicit photos on her phone. She didn't send them to me, and I don't even know who they were for. I'm so furious right now that I can barely see straight. I've decided to move out and stay with my parents for a while. I don't want to talk to my wife or answer her calls. I need some space and time to think about everything that's happened and whether or not I can ever trust her again. It's hard to even imagine a future where we're happy together. I'm not sure if I can ever forgive her for what she's done. I feel like my whole world has been turned upside down, and I'm struggling to come to terms with it all. Right now, I'm just trying to take things one day at a time and figure out what I want for my life moving forward. I know I deserve better than this, and I refuse to settle for anything less. Class updating. I wanted to provide a situational update. My wife and I have decided to file for divorce after much deliberation and soul-searching. It was too difficult to overcome her emotional relationship with her ex, co-worker, and the fact that I found explicit pictures on her phone that she had not sent me. I was hurt, betrayed, and treated with disdain. We both concurred that the time had come for us to part ways and begin a new chapter in our lives. We both intend to keep things as amicable as possible, but it won't be a simple process, especially given the custody dispute for our daughter. I wanted to take a moment to express my gratitude to all the Redditors who provided me with guidance and encouragement during this trying time. Without your assistance, I wouldn't have been able to survive. A special thank you to Ubobone123, who acted as both a friend and a pillar of support for me throughout this process. You don't know how much your generosity and words of support meant to me. I am thankful for the life lessons I've learned and the personal development I've gone through as I move forward in my life. I'm eager to begin a new chapter and find out what the future has in store for me. I want to thank you all once more for your help. Story 2. When arguments replace conversations. My wife stood before me, grinning as she laughed and then uttered the words that sent a jolt of alarm through my body. "I'm tired of being with a middle-aged man like you. Let's divorce." I was taken aback by her sudden proposal, but I had only one reply for her. "Sure, let's do it." My wife's response to my agreement sounded like she had been punched in the stomach. "Are you serious?" "My name is George, and I am a 47-year-old businessman who has been married to Nicole for 23 years. Nicole is 50 years old, 3 years older than me, and works as a general manager at a company. When we first got married, Nicole really loved me, and we lived a happy life together. However, our relationship has gone completely cold. We have a daughter named Victoria, but since she graduated from university and found herself a full-time job, she moved out of the house. Now that it's just Nicole and me living together, we barely speak to each other. Even if we do happen to talk, our conversation quickly turns into a fight. Nicole hasn't helped around the house for a long time, yet she always acts unsatisfied with me. One day, I returned home from working overtime, flopped onto the couch, and turned on the TV. Although I'm sure Nicole knew I was back, she didn't say a single word to me. If she gets home before me, she should at least get dinner started, but my wife never did that. Whenever she'd get home from work, she'd just change into more comfortable clothes and throw her dirty clothes all over the floor. "At least put your dirty clothes in the hamper," I'd say. "I can do that later, right?" "Later when?" she'd retort. "After dinner. On that note, make dinner. I'm hungry. I just got home. If you're just gonna complain, you should at least help me." "What? I'm tired from work. Housework isn't just for women to do. Stop complaining and start cooking." "Stop talking like that. I can't believe they allow you to boss people around all day at work." "What? I'm a manager after all, and my team loves me. Don't lie. I bet they all hate you." You just don't listen. The point is, you had to do overtime because you couldn't finish your job on time, so you're at fault. This is our busy season. Everyone has to do overtime. In that case, everyone has to do overtime. In that case, everyone at your company is bad at their job. Don't make fun of my colleagues. Then why don't you quit your job? Why would I? I like my job. I wonder why a company would keep a useless old man like you. Useless. Stop talking like that. I'm just telling the truth. Stop blabbing and start cooking. Make dinner quickly. I don't care anymore. I'm going out to eat. What? Stop messing around. After fighting with my wife, I left the house. Every time we speak, we begin to fight. When our daughter was around, we somehow managed to have real conversations. But since she left, all we do is fight. Although I was certain that Nicole knew I had returned, she didn't acknowledge my presence. It would have been nice if she had at least started preparing dinner since she usually gets home before me, but unfortunately, she never does. Instead, she changes into comfortable clothing and leaves her dirty clothes scattered on the floor. I always remind her to put her clothes in the hamper, but she always responds with, "I can do it later." One evening, after coming home from work, I plopped on the couch in the living room and turned on the TV. Nicole arrived home soon after and, as usual, didn't offer a greeting or a word. "Could you please start dinner? I'm hungry," I asked. Nicole rolled her eyes and responded, "I just got home. If you're going to complain, you should help me." I replied, "I just finished working overtime. Can you please start dinner?" Nicole snapped back, "Housework isn't just for women to do. Stop complaining and start cooking." I was taken aback by her response and said, "I'm not complaining. I'm asking you to start dinner." Nicole continued, "I can't believe they allow you to boss people around all day at work. I bet your team hates you." Feeling frustrated, I said, "That's not true. I'm a good manager and my team likes me." Nicole scoffed, "You're lying. Everyone probably hates you at work." "Why would you say that?" I asked. Nicole replied, "Well, if you can't finish your job on time, you have to work overtime. You're at fault for that." "It's our busy season, and everyone has to do overtime," I explained. Nicole retorted, "In that case, everyone at your company is bad at their job." I responded, "Don't make fun of my colleagues. And why should I quit my job? I like what I do." Nicole then said, "I wonder why a company would keep a useless old man like you." I was hurt by her words and said, "Stop talking like that. I'm just telling the truth. Nicole interrupted me and said, "Stop blabbing and start cooking. Make dinner quickly." Feeling fed up with the argument, I said, "I don't care anymore. I'm going out to eat." "What? Stop messing around," Nicole said, frustrated. I left the house without another word. Our fights had become more frequent since our daughter moved out, and we could no longer seem to have a decent conversation. We got married because we loved each other, so how did we end up like this? Even when we started dating, my wife approached me and was so kind to me. She was even the one who proposed. She loved me so much, but now she acts like a different person. Honestly, it makes me feel so lonely. It's been a few years since she started acting like this, and I think she might be having an affair. However, she has her guard up at all times, so I've never been able to find proof. At one point, I considered hiring a private investigator, but deep down, I still trusted. You might think that's strange since our relationship has become so cold and toxic, but we've been together for 23 years, so I wanted to believe her. I worried endlessly every day, and my issues with my wife only grew. A few months passed, and my wife called me into the living room because she said she had something she wanted to talk to me about. What could it be? I felt alarmed as my wife stood there grinning. As she laughed, she said, "I'm tired of being with a middle-aged man like you. Let's divorce." Her sudden divorce proposal surprised me, but I had only one reply for her: "Sure, let's do it." Huh, my wife sounded like she had been punched in the stomach. "Are you serious?" "I'm telling you we should divorce." "Yeah, I know. You don't want to be married to me anymore." Getting a divorce is really tough, you know? But you don't care. I know it'll be tough, but I don't mind. Being divorced isn't that big a deal these days. Well, that's true. Why are you acting so surprised when you're the one who suggested we divorce? I asked my wife. "Oh, did you think I wouldn't want us to?" she replied. "No, but I didn't think you would accept this so easily. You're the one who brought this up. Shouldn't you be happy I'm accepting it so easily?" I said. "Yeah, but was it just a threat? Could it be you don't actually want to get a divorce?" she asked. "No, that's not it. Then let's divorce. Have you signed the papers?" I asked. "I don't have them on me now." "What? You should at least be prepared that much," she retorted. "Shut up! I'll do it now," I said, provoking her. After that, she printed out all the forms we needed to fill out. "Is this really okay with you?" she suddenly asked. "You're so annoying." "Just sign them already," I replied. "Fine. Let me just make this clear. I'm not having an affair," I said. "What? What are you talking about out of nowhere? Are you actually having an affair?" she asked, suspiciously. I just said that. Saying something like that so suddenly was suspicious of her. "Let's split our property 50-50, I said. My wife was surprised at how easily I accepted the divorce, but isn't this only natural after she treated me so poorly? Who wouldn't want to divorce her after all that? My job pays decently, so I shouldn't have much trouble living on my own. After we had settled things, I called Victoria. Of course, she was surprised, but she had seen how my wife had treated me, so she understood why I accepted the divorce. "Your mom hasn't said anything to you about this?" I asked Victoria. "Not yet, but I'm sure she will soon," she replied. Nicole really doted on her daughter, but honestly, Victoria didn't like her mom all that much. When Victoria was young, Nicole didn't attend any of her school events because she was too busy with work. Of course, that made Victoria mad, and seeing how her mom treated me, her negative feelings toward her mom only increased. Mom really is terrible. She's the worst mother ever. Oh, wait, I got a text from her. What does it say? It says Dad and I are breaking up. I'm feeling lonely, so come over. As if I'd want to be with her now. I'd rather you and I go out and do something. Why don't we eat out somewhere? Yeah, let's do it. I wonder why Mom wanted to get a divorce so suddenly. Well, she randomly said she wasn't having an affair, even though I never asked, so maybe she is having one. What if that's true? She really is the worst. Well, I'm just guessing. If it's true, I'm going to cut off all ties with her. We spoke a bit longer and then ended our call. 1 month passed. My daughter and I arranged to meet up at a cafe. Dad, it's been so long. Has 6 months passed already? You look great. I have less things to stress about these days. You're living alone now, right? Yeah, I have an apartment near my office. Commuting to work is super easy, so that saves me a lot of hassle. I don't have to do chores for 2 people anymore, and I have time to spend on my hobbies and with my friends. That's great. It almost makes me wish you got divorced sooner. It did suck having to do chores while looking at your mom's sour face. That's true. She called me a useless old man. No way. That's the worst. After updating my daughter, she started to talk about something that seemed to make her feel uncomfortable. By the way, Dad, you said Mom might be having an affair, right? Yeah. That's been on my mind this whole time. So I hired a private investigator. Really? Are the results of the investigation available? Yes, here they are. My daughter handed me the papers. Nervously, I looked at the photos of my wife intimately linking arms with a younger man and entering a hotel with him. So she really did have an affair, I said in disbelief. It's hard to assume anything else after looking at these, my daughter replied. I was shocked that my wife had abandoned me for another man. Dad, there's no time to be sad. If you have this kind of evidence, you should be able to claim alimony from Mom, my daughter said, trying to comfort me. You're right, which reminds me, I should pay you back for the private investigator, I replied. You can do that after receiving the alimony, but since we've already broken up, can this be used as evidence that she had an affair while we were together? My daughter asked. I'm one step ahead of you, I replied. My daughter took out some more documents. These are texts between Mom and her lover, she said. How did you get a hold of these? I asked. I took advantage of her a bit. According to Victoria, she visited her mom and encouraged her mom to drink a lot. Her mom was in a great mood since Victoria even cooked for her, so she drank so much that she passed out drunk. As her mom had passed out, Victoria used her mom's fingerprint to unlock her phone. She took screenshots of the conversation with her lover, then sent herself the screenshots, my daughter explained. I couldn't forgive Mom for betraying us like this. With this, you'll be able to win, I said gratefully. We needed to call Nicole over to discuss the alimony, but we knew she probably wouldn't show up if she knew I'm here. So Victoria invited her mom to the cafe with the excuse that she wanted to spend time with her mom. I joined them once they were seated, my daughter said. Nicole looked disgusted when she saw me. Why are you here? I don't want to meet you, she said. I have something important to talk to you about, I said. You had an affair, didn't you? What are you saying? When we got divorced, I told you I didn't, she replied. You tried your best to hide it, but you can't. Victoria pulled out the photos she received from the private investigator and spread them across the table, I said. Nicole was surprised. These are all from after we got divorced, so it's not an affair, she asserted. I knew you'd say that, so I have more proof, my daughter said, pulling out the screenshots of Nicole's texts with her lover. If you look at the dates on all these, they're from while we were still together. Combined with the photos, this is real proof. Do you remember that night we drank together? I searched your phone. Why would you do that? That's the worst. You shouldn't have done that to your own mother. Who of us is really the worst? You have a husband and a daughter, and yet you would destroy our family like this. You're the worst. I'm not going to listen to the complaints of someone who cheated on their husband. I hate you. My wife flinched as she heard her beloved daughter say that. We have all the evidence, so we'll make sure you pay alimony. What are you talking about? We already broke up. I have no obligation to pay you anything. You really don't get it, do you? Your affair has been going on for 3 years. We only divorced 1 month ago, so of course I can request alimony from you. Well, on that note, I'm leaving. Please speak to my lawyer from now on. Ah, Mom, there's something I forgot to tell you. Victoria looked at her mother's face. Hopefully, you have no right to call Dad a useless old man. If anything, you're a useless old woman. You shouldn't speak poorly of others when you aren't anything special yourself. If that's how you treat people, no one will like you. Even I don't like you anymore, and I'm your daughter. I'm your daughter. From today on, I'm cutting off all ties to you. Don't contact me ever again. Victoria kept piling on more and more while her mother could only sit there frozen in shock. Tears started welling up in Nicole's eyes, but Victoria and I walked out of the cafe unbothered. There was one more person we had to battle, my ex-wife's lover. We met him at another cafe, and when we got there, he was already waiting for us, smoking a cigarette. "Why did you tell me to come here?" "I'll keep it short. You had an affair with my wife, so you'll have to pay me alimony." "What alimony? I started dating her once she was single." "It wasn't an affair," he protested. "I showed him everything I had shown Nicole. This all makes it very clear that it was an affair. I told him that I have a lawyer working on this, but you're already divorced, right? So you can't claim any money from me." "Are you stupid?" "Well, Nicole is too, so maybe that's why you get along. What are you making fun of me? You useless old man," he said, mocking me. "So Nicole said that to you too. Mom really is the worst, though. You're trying to act young, but you're old too. What did she even like about you?" "What? "Well, you're an old man to me. Not only that, but you're only a contractor. My dad is a full-time team leader at his job, so he's way more respectable than you. I'm not making fun of contractors or anything. I'm just saying that you understand how much worse you are than my dad." After hearing what my daughter said to Nicole's lover, I felt relieved. It was refreshing to finally confront the situation and receive the alimony that was owed to me for the last 3 years, despite my ex-wife being divorced now. I even sent proof of the affair to their home and my ex-wife's workplace, causing her to be demoted and disliked by her employees. As for Nicole's lover, he looked pale and worried about what would happen to him if he had to get a divorce. But I didn't care. He was a home wrecker and deserved whatever consequences came his way. With the money that was owed to me, I felt satisfied and content with my life. Now, I have more time to focus on my job, hobbies, and spending time with my daughter and friends. I want to live each day happily and fulfilled, unlike my ex-wife who lost everything due to her own actions. As for her, I hope she spends the rest of her life alone, and I have no intention of ever getting back together with her.